You are about to get a crash course on wood burning for beginners. These are the 10 steps that took me from a pyro burn baby to a pyro pro. If you're brand spanking new here, let me be the first to say, hey pyro, welcome to the family. I'm Janie Lisenby, your pyro professor. This is Burn Savvy. Let's burn. Step one, you're gonna wanna find a burner. No, not that one. That one doesn't have any heat control. I recommend that if you're going to get a solid point wood burner, that you get one that has heat control. But even better, I recommend a wire nib machine. They are so much faster and easier to learn on. You can get my personal favorite machine over from Bearwood Supply Company. They're the sponsor of this video. They are also my favorite place to get wood burning supplies. They have my favorite wood burning tools, and they even have Burn Savvy kits now available. They have wood burn boxes, and they are wonderful to burn. They have wood saws even. If you love working with wood, you are definitely going to want to check them out, and you are definitely going to want a discount. If you use code SAVVY, SAVVY, you will get a discount. So go check them out. I've got links for you in the description to make it really easy. Step two, choose a project. This is going to determine what kind of wood you need, what kind of pattern you want to use, all of those kinds of things. You need to determine your project first. I highly recommend that you do not choose something that is round, like a bowl or like a gourd or like a spoon or things like that. Round surfaces are harder. So choose something that is flat. I also highly recommend that you start with a subject matter that is the easiest. Natural lines, tree branches, grasses, flowers, those kinds of things are going to be a little more forgiving if you make a mistake. Now, when you do lettering or geometrics or architecture, those kinds of things are going to show those mistakes a little bit more. And portraits are even worse. So make sure that you are starting with something that matches the skill level that you're at with wood burning, not other mediums. Wood burning. Step three, choose a nib. This is the piece that goes in the end of the burner. You're going to want something that is going to suit the project best. Sharp nibs tend to do really well for things that have straight lines, and those rounder nibs are better for things that have rounder lines or curves. Of course, those flat nibs are going to be better for shading. I've got an entire playlist that talks about the uses of different wood burning tips and what it is that they naturally tend to do best. So you can check that out right up here. Step four, choose the right kind of wood for the project. Now, if you want a quick shortcut, basswood, birch, and poplar are really, really great. I do not like pine. I do not like bamboo. As readily accessible as they are, those are practice pieces of wood. They are so hard to burn, especially for beginners. I've got a truckload of videos for you that talk all about different kinds of woods. The best wood to choose for pyrography, the worst woods to choose for pyrography, and right here, I help you out with all of it. Step number 5 is to sand the wood. Okay, I used to skip this step, but I didn't realize how much time it saved me until I started sanding. I use a 220 grit sanding block or a piece of sandpaper. You can go finer than that, and that kind of polishes the wood, and that's really satisfying to burn, but it's a little bit harder for sealants to adhere to. Step 6, it's time to transfer your design. And again, I have a video for you. These show you my top favorite ways to transfer a pattern to wood. When I am using a pattern, I like to use carbon paper and a tracing tool like a nail daughter or an embossing tool. I actually have a wood burning tools and accessories kit that I'm selling for a limited time. You can also see the link for that in the description. Of course, you can sketch the design on yourself if you'd like, or you can just free burn. If you're going to sketch it or trace it, do so lightly. If the part that you want to erase got hot while you were burning, that tends to set graphite, it sets carbon, then you have to sand it off, and that can just be a royal pain. Step 7 is burning time. This is the step that everybody's waiting for. There are 4 different techniques that I recommend all beginners learn. The pulling, swinging, sweeping, and touching technique. Okay, those techniques are really, really good for getting some clean lines, learning how to use your burner. Once you have those down, there's a 5th technique, the scumbling technique, okay? And that one is really, really good for shading. The biggest thing here is to enjoy it. And for me, it was having really good looking lines, really good looking shading. And to do that, you really need to hone your technique. Go light, low, and slow in the beginning, okay? You want to use light pressure, never push hard. Pressing hard only gouges the wood, hurts your wrist and your hand, and damages your burner. So don't press. Low is using low heat. Typically, we want to crank that heat high and work fast. But if you do that, you lead to more mistakes. It tends to skip across the wood grain a little bit more. You tend to get a little bit more blobs. So use a lower heat than you think you need, and then move slowly, okay? When you start to move slowly, those things start to become second nature. Once you have mastered the light, low, and slow, then you can start to turn up that heat a little bit. You can start to move a little bit faster. All of those things will happen naturally as you hone your technique. These techniques I have in another video for you if you would like to deep dive into that. Step number 8 is to seal it. Now, a lot of people skip this step, and that's fine, but sealants will protect the burn for longer periods of time. They keep the wood from cracking. There are lots of different kinds of sealants that you can get. Food safe sealants, outdoor sealants, all of the above. I will be doing a video on this soon. In the meantime, I have a link to the article that you can go check out that goes through all of my favorite finishes as well as several others that have been recommended to me by some of my pyro friends. Step number 9. Add your hanging hardware. How is it that you want to display this piece? Is it sitting on a shelf? Is it hanging on the wall? Is it going to be in your utensil drawer? That will determine whether you use a sawtooth hanger or a piece of rope, or whether you use an art easel or a small little table easel. Step number 10 is to practice, practice, practice. Do it often. I cannot stress this enough. If you need an excuse, you just tell them that the pyro professor said that's what you need to do. You need more practice. I got you. Here on my YouTube channel, I give you lots of tutorials that you can check out. And if you want more, join me in the Burn Savvy membership. That's where I will be going over lots more projects. So go check out what level will suit you best in the Burn Savvy membership. If you want to know what it is that I wish I knew when I was starting out wood burning, you're going to want to watch this video next. I'm Jenny Lisenby, your pyro professor, and I'll see you on the next video. Later, pyro.